important to now it's live. Good morning, everybody. This is Devin with Homeschool House Calls.
Hi, everybody. I'm Susan with Homeschooling Supermoms. We're so glad you're here with us this morning. Welcome.
We are
Devin
going to
has
have
an
a great time.
Devin has an amazing workshop planned for us, and just some stuff for us to think about as homeschool
No, we're going to
moms.
talk about. Let's see. I've got bullet points, people. We're going to talk about dream a little dream, teaching our children to dream big dreams begins with us. This kind of came out of one of my workshops I did this summer. You remember, you were there, Susan. We were talking about how that's one of the things I tell mamas all the time. We've got to pour into ourselves and put ourselves into our time and our budget. Okay, go find Olivia. My little is beginning to wake up. So she'll come over here and talk to me for a few minutes. But anyway, we were doing the our homeschool mom self-care plan workshop and talking about how we've got to pour our time and our money into our budget, from our budget into ourselves, that we're important. We're the teacher of the home. And one of the moms told us about what she calls the dream blog. And it was more than just her following her dreams. Her children were spent that time too following their projects, and it was just so cool. And so,
Absolutely.
good
So,
morning.
so it was really neat because of the fact that this mom shared with us that she scheduled an actual block of time
Into her schedule,
into
which is
her schedule,
fabulous.
but it wasn't just a block of time for her to work on her dreams. She was leading by example and
Mhm.
having her children also use that block of time to work on their
And stuff.
dreams.
And it was just, I just thought it was amazing, the fact that she called it dream block, and the fact it was fabulous. Let's see, we got some comments. We have a bunch of people saying good morning. Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning, everybody. We're so glad you're here. Thanks for joining
Yes.
us.
Well, it's always so much more fun when y'all actually, you cannot get on camera. You want a kiss?
Yeah,
Let me
so
give this one a kiss.
okay, okay. So yeah, so I'm
Go
curious.
from Olivia.
Have like Devin and I were talking about, this mom scheduled a dream time block of time. So if her littles were in napping, she would take advantage of that time, but also encourage those children that weren't napping to
Hmm.
use that block of time to work on their dreams. Maybe their dreams as young children were to be. I'm going to tell you, my oldest, when he was little, said he wanted to grow up and be a dinosaur. And
Oh my God.
he either wanted to be a dinosaur or a professional bowler. I'm not sure where the connection was, but he loved both. And so, you could use that block of time to teach your child about being a dinosaur or about dinosaurs, or let them color
Hmm.
dinosaurs. Doesn't mean that he's going to grow up and be a dinosaur, but there are people that are, their profession is dealing with archaeology, and what a great way of in nurturing that along. So, maybe they want to be a bowler. Well, let them bowl, let them color, research bowling, and
Yeah,
let
but
them
how do you
build
play the
on their
game professionally? I
dreams.
mean, have you? I've never even thought about how do they score it? Where do those scores come from?
Exactly. So it's a great time to do it. So as you were mentioning, Devin, we love it when our moms, our parents share with us as we're
With
interacting
ideas,
and
because
going live.
it blew my mind.
Yeah. So our question to you is, do you guys do dream blocks of time?
Yes.
And yes or no on that. And the other is, if you don't, might this be something you'll consider in the future? Because yeah, I love that idea too. So we're getting some
Uh,
comments here. I love the idea too, because the other thing is, oftentimes as homeschool moms, we get caught up in the day to day, and we forget to
Get to
dream.
dream.
We forget
Yeah.
to take care of our hobbies and our interests. And what a great way to do this.
So, okay, I've got a question. So, what do we mean when we say dream, and why is it important? Even though we've already said that, because I have a definition, because sometimes it helps. Because when we say dream, we're like, sometimes we get boggled into this word and we don't quite know what we're talking about. So, this is what I found. Dreams encompass goals and more. They give you your life purpose, direction, meaning. They shape your life choices, help you build toward the future, and they give you control and hope. That's a huge thing. But when you think, you say, oh, dream, and you want your kids to dream, but we have to teach them to break that down. And that's one of the things we want to talk about today because I like talking with Susan.
And I want to add to that too. What a great way to reduce our stress.
Yes.
Sometimes we need to escape what's happening and we need to reduce our stress, and what a
Hmm.
great way to do it. And I'm going to let Devin keep talking because you know me, I can keep on
No,
talking.
it's so good. I'm like, yeah, it reduces your stress. But the thing is that we were made to dream. Humans are made to be creative. They're made to dream. It could be something as simple as learning how to knit. It could be, I mean, it could be something simple or learning to paint with watercolors. It could be something real, even though that's not really simple. I mean, it could be something small or learning how to make a gourmet meal, something small, or it could be something huge like you want to start your own business. I'm like, but you need to, I mean, that's what can, I mean, the sky's the limit on what you consider a dream or what your child, I mean, it could be how to be a dinosaur or how to be a professional bowler.
Yeah, yeah,
It
and
could be
it's
something
and it
simple, but you're showing them how to break this down and dream by doing an example. And, but anyway, go Susan, because my
Yeah,
mind's
because,
blank.
really, when you think about your dreams, if you break it down into bite-sized chunks, because obviously, like Devin said, it
Mhm.
can be anything all the way to building a business. And if you think about that, there's a lot of involved in that. So it can be just a
Mhm.
nugget of that. Maybe it's just you just brainstorming, or like Devin said, maybe you want to learn how to knit or crochet or quilt, or
Mhm.
and it's watching a YouTube video for your period of time.
Yes, doing the research.
Yes.
And that's what you need. Your children need to see you doing this because they won't know by, we don't naturally know how to accomplish a dream. We have to find a way to break those down. So doing the research in front of them. I always have my note. I have a notebook. It's like my brain dump. And it is usually sitting on my table and I'll have my coffee and I try to walk away from all my electronics and I start kind of plotting my ideas out on that. And my kids see that and they actively see me doing that, but then they need to see the other steps too. They need to see me do the research, and they need to see you do the research, and then they need to see you break those down into goals, which Susan's going to do next week, goal setting, which is going to be fabulous because I know Susan.
Oh, thank you, Devin.
So breaking those down into goals so that they see you go from the beginning to finishing it, going through those steps.
Absolutely. And we got some great feedback from those of you who are joining us this morning, and thank you so much for that. Devin, I don't know, can you pop up some of those
Yes, let's
comments?
see. We've got let's see, we got this one.
I think that's a great idea.
That's
I
a
think adding it,
great name.
so many times we forget to take care of ourselves, and sometimes, and
Mhm.
then if you get
Yeah.
that 5 minute period of time, you think, well, what am I going to do with it? Why not add to your dream?
Mhm.
So yeah, so I'm so glad you're going to add this to your
Yeah.
schedule.
Okay, let's see.
Exactly, exactly. They love I like a free time where they can do their art activities, etcetera, but
Yeah.
definitely adding that. Yeah, because it can be their dream time can be doing art. It could be doing all different kinds of things. Good. I'm glad you're gonna do it. I think it's the neatest thing in the world to do. Oh, great point. Great point. And it
Yes.
also works on independence. Absolutely, because we want our kids to be independent learners. We want them to understand how they can learn and move themselves along in
Yeah.
the learning process. And it creates that independence on how to use their time and use their
Mhm.
time wisely and grow their dreams. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
And Miss Ann says she needs some ideas for her 13-year-old. I know Miss
I
Ann. She's wonderful.
Yeah, so on your 13-year-old, ask him what he's interested in. What does he love? I mean, like I said, I took my son when he was 5 and said he said he either wanted to grow up and be a dinosaur or a professional bowler. I mean, ask your 13-year-old, what is he interested in? Maybe he's interested in being a firefighter or all these
Yeah.
different career options. And it doesn't even have to be a career option. It could just be a hobby. We have one of our mamas in our group, and their kids do all kinds of amazing things. Like one was interested in becoming a welder and learning how
Mhm.
to um, actually do blacksmithing and welding and things like that. I mean, there's so many different avenues you can go down, and just kind of ask them what they're interested in, or if they're a typical teen, because I remember the teen years and they're,
Mhm.
nothing. I'm not interested in anything. I mean, if you're dealing
That's
with
what
that.
they do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
they do
know.
they do that sometimes. So maybe in those situations, kind of find out what TV shows is this child interested in,
Mhm.
or, when you go to the library, does he or he or she go to a certain area? If they're looking up recipe books or watching or looking at car magazines or, different things like that, that will kind of lead you in that direction.
And Miss Ann's 13-year-old is kind of techie. I'm thinking maybe because she's local to me and I know her. Um, I think maybe get into some 3D printing. The Our library has the 3D printing room. Maybe we need to set up a field trip or something so that we can go see what they've got to offer.
Absolutely. That's a great thing to do. So if he's really
Yeah.
techie, it's a,
And
it's
Miss
a
Gail has a great comment.
A dream can be a goal, but sometimes it can be simple by make believe. Absolutely. And I can think of all sorts of lessons to go along with that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Gail, thank you.
That's a good question. We always had a dress. I'm trying to remove it now, and it's not wasn't letting me. We we always had a dress up box. I always said with the kids, and let me tell you, if you have little kids, after Halloween, whether you believe in Halloween or not, you can get most costumes 50 to 75% off, and you can add to your collection. And that's what we did. We'd go get doctor outfits, nurse outfits, Paw Patrol type outfits. We get all of that stuff after Halloween and add it to the dress up box. But we've used that a lot of times. There'd be a lot of little dreaming going on.
Absolutely. And Devin, I can't think of the term right now, and you might be able to think of the term, but where some parents go to the library and they get different books that they think their kids might be interested in, or
Morning
different active.
basket, having
Yeah,
a
and
family.
you
Yeah.
just put it on the table, and it's kind of just a walk by and watch your kids leaf through the
Yes.
things that will spark interest, because especially if you're not sure, this is a great way to explore and see if they
Mhm.
have an interest there, and you can nurture that along too.
And morning baskets are not just for littles. They sometimes they'll call it strewing. I mean, you can go
That's
get
the
like
term.
yeah, like
Yes.
3D printing. You can go get all the books on 3D printing. You can get supplies that have to do with it. Set it out. Let them look. It would be wonderful if we could find a place you could rent the 3D printing. But they're expensive. Some of the
Yeah.
equipment's expensive, but
And I think,
the
like you said, you
library
can go to
may
the
have
library. I
some.
think you can reserve a
Yeah,
time, at
yeah. The
least
library has
in
that.
our where we're at. I mean, I
Yeah.
know that we're 40 minutes away from each other, but we're kind of in the same territory. And the libraries offer the opportunity where you can go in, and I believe
Hmm.
it's at no fee, and you can use their
Yeah.
3D printer, and they'll teach about it. And again, offering that opportunity. Like Strooning was the term that I was looking
Doing.
for.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And yeah, and you
It
could just
takes me a
add
few minutes.
things.
Took me a few
Yeah.
minutes. I was going through what they could, but it's really, I mean, you have that theme, you set it out. If there are games that go along with it, you can put it out there. If there are supplies that go like knitting, like maybe you have a crafty girl or even a crafty boy, you can put out, you get the nice, the nice wool or the nice yarn and the tools and some books, and you lay it out so that's something to explore. I can call it something like getting books. Like, let me see. This is Gabriella's book to read right now. But like, you could have book tastings. I mean, you could have a theme, and then you could have some storybooks or fiction that goes along with that theme, and have it set out so that they can see what's going on. Documentaries, that's a good a thing too. You can find documentaries on whatever the subject is, and you know, play
That
them in
is
the background, even if they act like they're not interested. It's you're trying. It sometimes it takes time to move from how learning how to dream to them dreaming. Don't get discouraged when it doesn't happen in a week. You
exactly.
can
That
take
is a great
time.
point. It doesn't happen overnight. You know that, you the streaming that we were talking about where you put the books of interest, maybe you're going to have to change them every week and things like that.
Yeah.
So, kind of do some dabbling here and dabbling there and see what interests them.
So this is kind of what we've been talking about. You can pick a project, any project. It could be anything from writing a book to planning a dream vacation. Choose something that you're passionate about and you're going to model it in front of your kids. And why? This is something you have to fight. Mamas will often feel guilty about dreaming. Don't you find that, Susan? You feel
Absolutely.
guilty about being, dreaming, and don't feel the guilt, because if you want your children, we want our children to dream. It's like we feel no guilt over pushing that forward, but if we don't model it, then they don't know how to do it.
Absolutely. And as we talk about dreaming, I'm going to, your dreaming can be take so many different shapes and forms. And one of the things, don't laugh. One of my dreams is to kind of get all my laundry room all organized, my pantry all organized, closets in bedrooms all organized. I mean, and you do it in bite-sized chunks. Doesn't have to
Yeah.
be a killer week of organizing your laundry room and every single closet within your household. I mean, just little nuggets and these dreams. Because I know that having things more organized gives me peace of mind. It reduces my stress, and so that's what I
Mhm.
mean, these dreams don't have to be starting a business. It can,
They
like
could
Devin
be
has
little things.
mentioned, they
Yeah.
can be little things that bring you joy in your life.
It could be having a dream of having a menu plan.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a nice dream.
I'm like everybody benefits from that, but I mean it can be something simple as that you're just trying to conquer one small area of your life. I'm like, it's not like you don't have to have this big lofty dream. It can be something little too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love the comment too that came in addition to the
Yeah.
documentaries, but this one right here also, maybe even see
Yeah.
if there is a magazine subscription that goes along with the passion and let it be something that comes monthly.
That is a fabulous idea.
Because it's like getting a present in the mail. I love it.
And I let me tell you, I am a magazine girl. I know you probably don't know that, Susan, but I love magazines. Always have. Always have. And I have one that I don't have it now, but I've bought it in the past where it talks about creative spaces and decorating and having, and it interviewed creative people and how they had their space so that they worked more effectively, which goes along with cleaning closets,
Yes, absolutely,
having
absolutely.
that effective,
Yeah.
place there.
And in addition to that, like that monthly subscription, I realize that some of us are on a budget and we're probably
Mhm.
all on a budget really. And I know I am in my house. And so if that doesn't fall within your budget, that's okay because remember that you can check magazines out at the library.
Library,
I
yeah.
I know that COVID is sparking back up in almost every single place, everywhere. But the other thing is, your libraries also offer an online program where
Yes, and
you
they're
can look at
fabulous.
magazines online at no cost using your library card. So,
Yeah.
something else you can check into if maybe that monthly subscription
Mhm.
doesn't fall within your budget right now.
Yes, that's a good point. And a lot of time my library will often put out older magazines that you can go snag them. You just have to know what day they're putting them out, and you can actually get them and keep them. It's like they only keep a few months, and then you can go grab some older editions of the magazines.
Sorry, I
So,
had to mute
well,
myself for a second. I didn't want to cough in everybody's ear.
okay, so being that we've said that, now one thing I did want to talk about is those time suckers, because a lot of times for me, not saying y'all do that, this mamas, I'm saying this is me. I will waste my time. There's not really ever any wasting time. I'm trying to find a diplomatic way to say this, Susan. There
Okay.
are times we don't use our time wisely. I am hugely guilty of doing this. And one book that I like to go back to all the time, because she talks about time wasters, because we'll say, oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to learn how to knit or how to cook that certain meal I want to cook, because I've got this over here. So she talks about that. It's like an art. I have never made any of these projects, but I talk about this book all the time because in the first section, she talks about wasting our time and how sometimes we don't need to watch 4 hours of that sitcom on the sometimes we do, sometimes you need that downtime, but she talks about being aware, and that's something that we have to teach our children too. When you're trying to
Absolutely.
accomplish your dreams, there are times that sometimes you have to put in work that's not as fun with that dream, and it's very easy to go find something else that's more fun. And so this is also, we have to teach our children to stay on track, and that means we have to stay on track.
Absolutely. And like you said, even though if you're vegging in front of that favorite TV show for a couple hours, I mean, think I'm going to throw the crocheting or the knitting in or
Yeah,
things like that.
you can
You
do
can
that.
do it at the same time,
Yeah,
so maybe it's multitasking in a healthy way,
yeah.
because we all know that multitasking
Does
in
not
its
work
true
well.
form, it doesn't work well.
It
But
does not work well for me.
in this situation where you're vegging in front of the TV, you can do that
Mhm.
crochet or knitting, or like
Yeah,
let's say I wanted to organize a drawer. It's
yeah.
take the drawer in front of the TV, veg in front of the TV show, and organize the
Yes,
drawer.
that's
You
a
know,
good idea. I have not thought about that, Susan.
yeah. So it can always be these
Yeah.
little bitty things that move you forward, and
Move
we're
you
going to
forward.
talk about some of those itty bitty things
Yes,
next
and
week,
it's
also.
important for your children to see you moving forward. So my challenge is to pick a project and follow it through to completion and be very vocal about it. Talk about it in front of your kids. Let them see you going through the process, because when you do that, they mirror what you do and they learn how to accomplish their goals. And that's important, because that's really the whole point. It's We are important. We need to have goals. We are creative humans, but we need to show our children how to do it too,
Yeah,
because we are
abs-
homeschool moms.
yeah, absolutely. So we want you guys to remember that when it comes to dreaming, we want you to dream big. We want your kids to dream big. And we want you to think about setting
I'm
aside a
laughing
little
at okay. I'm laughing
time.
at Gail. Okay,
Oh, yeah, clearly I'm not, huh, Gail? Absolutely.
oh
But I
my
can clean a
gosh.
drawer while I'm watching TV, Gail.
We can clean a drawer. That is a fabulous idea, because my drawers come out and it gives me no excuse. Just one a night. And by the end of the week, all the
Absolutely.
drawers would be clean, wouldn't they?
I mean, think about you have drawers in your bathroom that I mean, I have this one
Yeah.
drawer that I throw everything in, and it's like,
We have a junk drawer. That's what we call
Susan,
it.
you haven't used that in forever. It's called trash can, so yeah, so Gail,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm not. I'm
I have
I
tried. I have tried to learn how to knit. I actually took classes probably almost 15 years ago, because Juliana wanted to learn how to knit, but she was too young to take the classes, because the mom, I was just going to take her to take the class. She was too young. So I took the class so that then I would knit in front of her, and because I couldn't figure out how to teach her from the videos. I was having trouble. That's the whole point. I tried the videos first, they didn't work. And that's what we did, just because that baby wanted to learn how to knit.
well, and there's another there's another opportunity for dreaming big.
Mhm.
Take some
Yeah.
classes or take some classes together. Show
Yeah.
that you have an interest in your child's dream, or
Yes.
why not let them find an interest in your dream? Maybe
Mhm.
you want to be a cake decorator, and
Oh my
you
gosh,
take your
what
kids to a
fun.
cake decorating class with and so just
That
some
is
things to think
fun.
about.
Yes.
So make sure, mamas, one, you schedule some dream time into your lives. Hopefully daily
Dream
if
block. Yeah.
possible, or if not, maybe once a week.
Yeah.
Because and you're like, well, how do I get started? Well, it doesn't have to be a daily thing right off the bat. Learn how to carve a little bit of time into your week each
Yes.
week, and then you can move forward on those dreams. But I just thought when she said in that workshop that we did a couple of months ago, Devin, that
Mhm.
when she said she schedules in dream
Dream
time for
block.
herself and her children,
That
I
is
was like,
just the best thing
wow.
ever. I was like, mom goals. That's how I felt. Mom goals.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So, mamas, let us know. Do
Let
you
us
schedule in
know.
dream time? If you don't, like I said, let us know if that's something you'll be starting.
Yeah.
And if you do it, what are some of your goals? What are some of your dreams that you work on? And how do you inspire dreams in your children? We'd love to
Yeah.
hear that too.
That would, it's just a fabulous idea because isn't that why we homeschool? We want to have those
Incredible moments.
incredible moments, and you can put that in there, and it helps. I'm like, it just that don't we be so bogged down with your curriculum, you're not putting your dream time in there. That's my goal for the year. I found a new goal.
Adding in dream time.
Get a little dream time in because we have not had that, and we kind of need it.
Absolutely.
Okay, mamas. Well, this was fun.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, we had a good time. Let us know if you're going to schedule dream blocks into your schedule, and let us know what goals you're going to pick up if you're going to pick something up,
And
and
I hope
let
you
us
guys will
know.
join me next week.
Yes, join Susan next week. It's going to be fabulous. I can't wait.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Have a
Bye,
great
guys.
day. Bye.